All right, we are going. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Corporate Underground. Today, we have another guest. We have Zac joining us. Now, Zac, you and me met through, I guess, initially you were helping my wife through lockdown last year with her movement and dance and all the pain and limitations he had. And then we sort of got talking, I think, after maybe a year of that. And you talked about, I guess, your background and not just movement, but you did things in corporate. So I thought, you know what, let's get you in on here and let's just talk about, I guess, how us corporates are all screwed in some way or another. But we'll try and keep it upbeat. We'll talk about some golf swing because I know that's what everyone out there really cares about. If I talk about getting your productivity higher or your back pain, that doesn't matter the half of you. But golf swing, I'm willing to invest in on that. But Zac, you're a graduate of the Australian Ballet School. You've run Pilates and movement rehab studios. You've been doing martial arts for years and at a level that I think you can cause quite a bit of harm to others. Anything else that's interesting that like our listeners would like to know?
I have an excellent singing voice in the shower.
Wow, excellent.
All right. Well, we'll take the camera to the shower later to verify.
Ronan, you've got a shower off coming. You have, mate.
That's good. I'll do the Wim Hof cold shower, and then you'll really hear me sing.
Yeah, that's something I sing as well. Wim Hof. I actually sing Wim Hof, but operatically. Those words.
Ah, jeez, Renaissance man.
Yeah, man of many talents. Polymath.
Polymath indeed.
So when we were talking about having you, we were talking about that there was like a simple technique that you could teach that helps relieve stress or eliminate pain, help with your mental performance, and even like we joked about the golf swing for all those corporates that are listening. What is this? How'd you learn it? Like, can you explain a bit of background on what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, sure. So how I developed this way of working, I call it Heal Yourself and Move system, is that I started in dance, and one of the things that I would experience with this was that you get to a certain level and then you come up against resistances in your body or in your ability to do things that continually block you. And I found that incredibly frustrating. And when I was dancing professionally as a ballet dancer, I just wasn't really ever able to find a way through. And I'd get sore, I'd get injured. And when I stopped my dance career, it was kind of like I never got to the point of being able to actually work that stuff out. Then when I went and started doing martial arts and contemporary dance and then Pilates and started studying a lot of somatic stuff, they're called sort of body-mind methods, I started to find a way to actually resolve a lot of the issues that I had as a dancer and work out a way to actually find through those blockages. Then I started to teach that to others, basically. And so the system itself is, it's a way of recognizing your existing tension. And instead of needing huge hours of time to be able to go on a retreat or get a massage or a treatment, it's how you can deal with it right here, right now, and then use that to actually enhance any functionality that you want to use it for, whether that is golf game, whether that's stress relief, whether it's decision-making, everything that you come up against in terms of, I guess, things that would block your progress can often be traced back to resistances or tensions that you're currently feeling in your body. And so as when we release tensions, we enable flow. And so that's kind of the image.
Well, I think when I started talking to you after you helped my wife, I was like, head of my company, I got to do this. I want to help make sure I, help with the dramas of just, being in a car a couple hours a day and then sitting at a desk and stuff like that. But I think we quickly got distracted after I said, I was doing my PT today and this isn't right and I can't do it. And you're like, and I think we then got massively distracted on that. But the cool bit was that, like for me, and we doubled my weight within a couple of weeks of doing your program and following those techniques. So it actually can jump into different parts of your life once you learn these basic techniques, which I've enjoyed. So I think it'll be fun because we keep these relatively short, and I know we're going to use Matt as a test dummy, which means this is going to drag out. So let's get started with, I guess, doing a bit of a demonstration, because the best way for people to understand what the hell you're talking about is to probably watch Matt spiral into insanity. So right before we hit record, we asked Matt, is there anything that's bothering him? Well, first we asked if anyone plays golf here, and unfortunately none of us do, except for me. And I would say I play golf. I want to, but I don't. So I can't improve something I don't have. So we'll explain quickly how they could use in golf later for those that do. But Matt said he's got a bung knee because he's 8 foot tall and he can't support his own body weight anymore. Maybe you can help him with that. Matt, well, you want to explain where you're at? I've muted you, by the way. Sorry.
That's all right. No, it's a rain on the roof. No, that's not fair. I got injured in a game of tag with 2 6-year-olds. They play rough, they play tough, and I'm not as. I went one way.
They play dirty too.
And those little 6-year-olds just took off, bastards. So I blew it out about a week ago. It's almost back to normal, but it still twinges. But it did blow up to about 2 to 3 times the size of my other knee. So what could I have done to have sort of reduced that amount of time I was out, Zach?
So only chase one of the 6-year-olds.
There you go. He's fast. He's super fast. And my extendable arms didn't quite get to the little bugger. And he was high on sugar, so those things were blurring.
Yeah, right. As far as what you could have done, not having actually seen what happened, it's hard to
mate, you would have laughed. You would have laughed. But I went one way, the leg went the other way, and then I just almost lost it, and I came down and I caught it. But, my knee went one way, my leg went one way, and my body went the other. So,
but you're still got a. I'm assuming, even though the swelling's gone down, I'm assuming putting weight on it or moving it a certain angle, or you're limping. Is that still going on?
Yeah, look, I find it difficult to stand up straight away. Once I've got moving, it's okay. But that really blew me out for like a week. I've got most of my movement back now, but it would have been good to know what I could have done probably in the beginning. I didn't ice it or anything, but
ice would have been good. But what we'd probably look at now is just going how it is now. And so to actually go through like standing up, sitting down, just doing some of the movements, even taking yourself through what it is that discomforts it, getting a read on it, and then what I can work on is to show you how potentially reduce that even further or eliminate it.
Sure. So standing up, I've got to put most of my weight on my left leg to get up. My right knee, it's just twingy, coming up and down. Yeah. So I'm really favouring my left leg. And it's like a small twinge, but like last week, I basically had to get something to help me to actually stand up.
Yeah. And if you stand up now one more time, and then just do a bend in a squat, like a squat, and even a slight, and just let's see what that feels like.
Yeah, right about here, the knee sort of, you can really feel the pressure coming down. So I'm really pushing on my left leg, so not to use my right.
And is that when you're doing it? Is the pain on the inside or the outside of the knee?
It's on the inside.
Inside. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is I'll just move back slightly, and so you can sort of see my just lower this camera a little bit. We've established you're on a rolly chair. Okay, so you can use wheels. Concentrating on the leg that you are currently dealing with. We're going to basically, I want you to replicate the bending and stretching action. So if this is your right leg, yeah?
Yep.
So your right leg, what we're going to do is the left leg is going to drive the right leg. You're going to extend the right leg out. Okay. I want you to now just shake the right leg. So make sure it's nice and wobbly and relaxed. Yep. Yeah? Okay. Absolutely no tension in it. Now I want you to just allow the chair to move so you bend and stretch the leg. Are you able to do that with that?
Yep.
So basically, we're creating, what we're doing, what I call this is creating a feeling signature. So you want to actually, basically right now, when you're bending and stretching, you're putting the load that you're putting onto it, because of the injury or because of what you did to it, is creating an immediate reaction resistance responses in your body. It's sending signals out, doesn't want you to do it. So it's got that fresh memory, as it were, in the body of that pain, so it wants to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
What we're doing is creating a very small amount of load. You're still contacting the floor, so you've still got some pressure, but what we're doing is trying to replicate the action. And as you can, if you want to, you can bend in further.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is there any pain or discomfort as you're doing that at all?
Slight, but not very, no.
See if you can, if you need to, you can drive it more from the left leg even further. So it's almost like the weight stays on that left leg, and it's just very much on that. Now what I want you to do is keep wobbling this and get your hand and put it on the inside thigh, relax the inside thigh into the hand, and then keep wobbling the leg. Can you feel how that very gently engages in a muscle?
Yep.
Right, and just keep the quad wobbling.
Yep.
And then do the same thing, put the hand on the outside of the knee. And now can you feel how it activates the muscles on the outside? Great. So what we're doing is, and then do it on the hamstring as well, lift up, allow the thigh bone to fall into the hand. Yeah. And so now, once again, there might be a feeling of deep connection at the base there. Go back to the inner thigh, put it on there. Yeah. Now, take the hands away. What's the actual action feel like? It starts to get smoother and easier again. Yep. And now, let's just go and just see what that feels like. Standing up.
Yeah, a lot easier. A lot easier.
So explain what you're doing here. Besides, like what's going on? Like nice and simple. What are you doing to make that leg not cause pain? Because you're not really you're not massaging or anything like that.
No, so what?
I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
No, that was all of my hands. Sorry, no. What we were doing there was, as I was describing in there, creating the same neuromuscular event that is you need to do to be able to complete that action, i.e. bending and stretching the legs. But what was been happening is when you have been doing it previously since your fall, is that you have been, there's all that pain around it, and anytime you go towards it, it's already putting up all those signals of stop, stop, stop. And so what we did was we introduced, without pain, the ability to actually complete that action, which you haven't been able to before or since then. And on doing that, and just by doing that wobble, we're creating fluidity and ease. And so it's telling your body that everything's okay. Then by putting the hand on there, you're doing the equivalent of, hundreds of kind of, thigh lifts or whatever it is that you might be given by, someone that's trying to rehab it to try and strengthen those internal muscles. But what will happen generally when you're trying to strengthen those internal muscles is you're still carrying the external tension and pain. So we remove the pain first, and then we allow the deeper muscles to engage and connect that movement simultaneously.
So is it a mental thing or is it a physical thing? So the physical muscle is actually waking up and being aware of that, or is it the brain realizing that this is going to happen and jumping ahead of where it is?
You can't have any action occur without intending it. So you have to be sending a mental signal to it. So everything that you do always has everything is a mind-body connection. So, when the idea, it's impossible to separate. So it's basically what we're doing is refining that process.
So Zac, one of the big things I know that pretty much everybody at office does is they sit on a chair. I notice you've got a round ball, it's still that, but we spend 8 to 10 hours at our desk. We spend another 2 hours in our car, probably not so much anymore. But and most people I know have bad backs. It's one of the biggest things that goes around. Everybody has muscular problems, either at spine or in the shoulders, tension running across there. Is there anything that you can suggest that can be done to allow people with bad backs that bit more comfort? Absolutely. I mean, because my knee feels, like just getting up and down straight away, I didn't feel the pressure from doing that. And that was what, 3 minutes, 4 minutes?
Yeah. A fantastic result, by the way. And when just let me check that you didn't have to favor the other knee. You were able to take it up. No. Amazing. Fantastic. Really well done. So it's exactly the same process now applied to the back. Okay. So what you'd want to establish is, like we can give what I was able to do, we were able to do was because you gave me a specific problem, we were able to come up with a specific solution. If it's a more general back issue, I can give a general one, but just know that, people watching, it could be that you've got your own specific issue that would need a specific approach to it. But if you want, I can just go straight into a back.
Sure.
Yeah. So just right now, and it might be just for Tony, for Ronan, and for Matt, just where are you feeling? Say some tension. Say in your lower back. What are you noticing, or your neck, or whatever it is? Just locate that straight away with what you notice.
I got a nugget.
Yeah.
A nugget of tension. It's like down the lower back to the right.
Lower back to the right. Yep.
Yeah.
Ronan, anything?
Mine's across the shoulders, just in between the shoulder blades there.
Yep. And Matt, is there anything?
No, mate, I'm golden. I'm like a
It's all fed.
Okay, so with the control in there, so we can look at that together. You can do it sitting, absolutely. Standing is great to do it as well because you get the whole movement from the hips, but it might be not a lot of people watching this will be doing sitting. So we'll just look at this briefly. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is where your pain is or where your discomfort is. I just want you to, so for instance, you had your nugget on the right side, you've got your across between the shoulder blades. Actually just put your hand, so I'm going to do it for both. I want you to put your hand on that area and allow yourself to actually feel like your back is passing into the front to be supported by it. So if you can locate, so if you know what, so Ronan, yours is at the back. You want to put your hand at the same place.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then you basically from there, you just allow it's almost like where you've got the contact between your hand and the chest, just let it relax, just sign relax first, let it melt, and then just let it it's almost like if you were going to fall, if you didn't have your hands there, you just keep falling. So your hands stop you from going any further. And I want you to feel like all that tension that you've got at the back just falls around that hand. Just melts around it and just can be completely supported. And at the same time, just let yourself obviously continue to breathe. It's also really good for breathing, being able to calm the breath. And just keep note, wherever you feel any residual tension in that area, just let it, actually say to it, relax. And just notice what happens. Say to it, relax. Notice what happens. Continually speak to it and just say, relax. And then let it pass into your hand. And then just grab it in your hand and then just go, I'm going to do it.
Let me kiss it, baby. Let me kiss it.
And wish it well. No, and so is there anything that you noticed there?
I noticed a relaxing, and I noticed that there was definitely a change there. It's fascinating that the mind can overtake the body and become the healer when we think it's all a physical thing. As you said earlier, the connection between the two, the more you kind of understand that, the more you are likely to find out what the issues are and how you can overcome them.
It is. I'm just conscious of time, so we might wrap up and jump into another one that will focus purely on corporate things. Okay?
Tony, we want to see your golf swing, mate. You started with that. We've got to finish with that. I mean, that's just
let's finish it.
Show us
I can't even tell you it's not happening. I don't even have a swing. I just want to. Okay. We'll do a double episode.
Everybody at the beginning that was waiting for the golf swing has now been disappointed by Tony. So just send me comments.
All five of them.
I'll tell you what, if you have a golf swing, if you're listening and you want to improve your golf swing, reach out to us. We'll get you on. We'll get Zac on, and we'll fix it. Okay. But right now, I can't demonstrate a swing that I don't have.
Look, it's going to be a massive problem. I can see that now. Your mum and his sister are all going to come in and complain about that one.
Let's not him off the hook then. What about if he just shows us one of his dance moves he's done with his wife? We'll settle for that.
Come on, Tony, what are your dance moves? You know how to, you get good moves, got good grooves. We're asking you to sing.
You know, this can't even describe how much I hate you right now.
Oh, Tony, come on. Look, Zac knows the moves. You don't let him down, man. He wants to see. He's taught you.
Looks like it's not going to happen. We tried.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Well, if you're disappointed, write to us, and I'll give in the peer pressure, but not from these guys.
Yeah. Answers on a postcard.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods on, and we'll help him. You know.
I'll reach out to him. He's in my Rolodex.
Rolodex, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Technology there. Tony works with the top technology going. You know.
Yeah.
For anybody under 30, a Rolodex is like where you put your names and your numbers.
It's the contacts card on your phone.
Thanks.
All right, so Zach's going to hang around. We're going to do another episode. So we'll dig into more things related to corporate life there. So stay tuned for that. We'll release that one next week. But thank you so much for listening. Thanks to Zach again for your time. And we'll see you all next week. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Zach.